All right, let's see if this works. All right. Well, we're back. Inverse. Okay, what came in on Discord? Let's see. Um, sure what I'm supposed to do here. Okay. I don't really know exactly what this guy's sending me, but I'm just gonna ask, figure it out in a bit. So I'm going to continue on where I left off last night when my internet died, and of course the stream goes down. That happens. So now we're going to launch this. Scene graph. Also, any questions that people might have, I'll try to answer. That's what I'm looking at right now. I think I want to understand prefabs better today. It's been a busy day. We've been working. Got a couple new maps in the works. Can't tell you guys about them yet, but they're pretty cool. Waiting on this to load, as always. Always waiting. But yeah, lots to do, lots to work on, lots to study, obviously. So many things. I think somebody had mentioned in the in last night's video that they feel overwhelmed. So many things to learn. It's true. There are a lot of things to learn, but you know, it's one thing at a time. I haven't touched scene graph, and here I am finally getting into scene graph a little bit. See if we can understand it better. I like the idea that we can encapsulate code into a thing and then just copy paste that thing all over the place, not have to create a bunch of devices and hook stuff up. It's inherently hooked up with code. And that's my jam. That goes against Creative 1.0 developers that are out there. And that's fine. I think that this is a good future. It's taking forever. But just to, oh, here we go. Just as I complained. Just want to hop back into things. I had a message come in Discord. And it's working, yeah. Okay. On how to possibly solve. I think I might move the spawner because I'm tired of running all the way over here. So yeah, so when we interact with this, it'll start swaying. What's really weird is that they're all just at this weird angle, but I don't. I guess they're like that. You guys can see. Turn off my game screen. I guess they're like that in here too. They're all on a weird angle. Like why are these starting like this? Okay, so actually here's my question about it. I'm gonna open up the prefab. And then we can see in here, let's make this smaller. And smaller even. I want to see, let's just back up a little. If I modify this one, we want to modify off of the pivot. Is there a just save? Okay, so they all change, so that's good. So because I want this thing to sway, and I don't want it starting off weird in here, so we're solving another problem. And it does look like it sways too much to the left, right? Yeah. So we're going to solve this here by setting it right in the prefab, and the prefab changes it all. So I think the other thing that I've been doing wrong is, let's put on the lantern. Can we add a component? We can. Okay, so lantern, add component. Where's the interaction component? How come it's not in here? I wonder if it's because this one here has it here. Let's remove that. So does it check all over the place? Remove component. Okay, so I don't think I added it to any of the other ones. So this should make our code fail, but I bet it doesn't fail. Yeah, because none of the other ones have it. I guess here, this is what we should do. Delete that, delete that, delete that. Let's just leave 2 up, and we're going to make this one the one we interact with. So we could add a component here on the right-hand side of the details. Well, who we got? We got comments. How's it going? It's going good. It's going good. Hopefully things are going well with you too. Just recently started developing, and your vids have helped me a ton. Well, excellent. You're welcome. I'm glad they helped. How did you change the mesh on an entity? Because it doesn't let me change meshes. It's only stuck to a cube. You can have only one interaction component each entity. I agree. Yeah, but I think what we can do is we can go to the prefab of this, which I closed. So we will take the whole light post, open up the prefab, and then on the lantern, I want to add, oh, it's already on. Because it's on the lantern from, did I just do the right one? Yeah. So this lantern already has, so I don't need to put it here. It already had, going to the prefab for this light post, click the lantern, and there's already an interactable component. So that's interesting. All right, well, let's save that. Go back here in the game. So that means, hey, what happened to my, What happened to this? Where's everything? Everything broke. What is going on? Oh yeah. Well, let's push changes. Just make sure it still works. It's broken. There are a lot of bugs with scene graph. There's a whole list of them that Epic put out. How is it? Oh my goodness. UEFN just crashed on me. Full crash. Send and close. Is it possible to change meshes with a prefab? I think so. Let me reopen UEFN. They need better documentation. Well, they'll get there. I'm not too worried about that. I mean, scene graph is so brand new. It's crazy brand new. Definitely not something that I would build a game with yet, but I think because they've released it into beta and you can release it as a game, that means they're serious enough that they're going to try to support it a lot. So I think that is a sign that there's good energy being put towards it. Not that they don't make enough bugs as it is in full-on production stuff that's been out there forever. I mean, they broke barrier devices, they broke NPC devices, they broke what else they break? Like rotation of stuff. I mean, the forum is full of bugs. Okay, we're back in, and we're in the same spot. We are. Let's select that guy. Okay, so everything's back on the right, which maybe that was where it was starting to fall apart. Okay, so let's launch a session again. It's weird, eh? It's disappointing that they haven't really locked this in. It's unfortunate. Give me my mouse. There we go. So now we're here again, waiting for it to run. Yeah. I didn't realize what's interesting is that inside of that light was a an interactable component, but I can also add it later in the scene. Like I can add another one. I wonder if that's a bug. Stream rules is here. Yo, buddy. How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Hopefully you guys are doing well. It's super hot for us here. Bird 8 is here. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Super hot outside, so intolerable to stay inside when it's cooler. And study, because we finished up our work today for working on new maps that we're working on and fixing a couple other things here and there. So now it's study time, then dinner, and then more studying. So I might be back on later, but I wanted to get on again to sort of let everybody know that the last stream died because my internet died. I think it's because of the streaming software that I was using. I'm using OBS now, but I was using Meld Studio. I like it. The interface is really cool. It works well, but I think it crashes my internet adapter. So I've ordered up a cheap one for 20 bucks because I talked to some people and it seems that that's good enough. I didn't move the spawner, didn't I? Let's see. Okay, so look, that doesn't even work. There's no interact thing going on there. Oh. So even if you have it in the prefab, let's go take a look at that. So this is our light post for the details. So there's no component in here for interaction. Nothing there because that's a light. I don't think you can put it on that. That's got a simple movement component put on it. But I want to put an interactable component in the prefab. Otherwise, I've got to put an interactable component on every one of them, and that seems like a pain. But if I click on the lantern in here, then there's an interactable component. So why doesn't that take effect. You know what I mean? Don't understand. It's in there. Let's double check the code. In game, let's build verse code. Open up verse. Simple movement component. So if the simple movement component is applied here, what? It isn't though. It's applied here. Anybody know? Anybody know? What do we got? They broke playtest one time. They also recently broke the launching of UEFN. True. Yeah, they broke. I post bugs all the time. In Portugal, it's also hot. Oh, that sucks, man. That's too hot. In South Africa, it's cold. You have to. Oh, of course it is. Yeah, that's the side of the planet. Why do you pay for $20 internet? You're not broke, right? What? The internet costs more than that. How many maps with the top player something use verse in their maps? Because the top played maps seem to use close to no verse. Most of it for me is UEFN. Dude, I think a lot of people use verse. The top played maps, I think they all use verse. Even Tilted Zone Wars. I worked with Tilted Zone Wars guy a while back, and he's got verse in there too. Verse makes things easier. It's mostly used if you want to do something that is not in the Fortnite devices. Yeah. I did not say I paid $20 for internet, but that's not an interesting topic to talk about right now. Okay, so let's figure this out. Why can't I access the interactable component on the lantern? It should be there in the prefab, which I don't have open anymore. I don't even know why I closed it. Right, because it's right there. Let's try. Let's put one on the pivot. Does it matter? Right? Because this is going to be in the same list as the simple movement component. Maybe it has to be in this list. Keyframed movement component. I don't know. Save. Close. Push changes. Wait half an hour. Can I ask a long question? Yeah, man. Ask whatever you want. Yeah, buddy. Let's go over to our game screen. Oh, I didn't move the spawner again. Let's do that while I'm thinking about it. Hello, useless spawner in the middle of nowhere. Time for you to come along to here. Move the, you guys can't see, but I was moving the spawner to the middle. What is your long question, my friend? Let's hear it. I love questions. If it's something like, how do you make games in UEFN that are really successful? That might be a long one. A long answer. Short question. Uh-oh. Look on the right-hand side. Everything's falling off for these guys. I bet it doesn't work. I bet it breaks. I bet something's gonna break. Hate it when things break. Gotta restart. Why does this disappear? Where's the list of issues. Oh, here we go. Scene graph's a beta feature. You cannot clear all overrides. Entities do not use a one file per actor system. There's no way to save duplicated entities or blah blah blah. Oh, game's going in. Scrubbing the static mesh component rotation along the left axis causes unexpected movement. There's so many things wrong. Okay, let's go. Let's go. All right, come on, give me the interact. It just won't. Is this a bug? Does anybody know? Just reading documentation. Here, put it on screen. So you guys can read it too, because it's so much fun. Who doesn't like to read documentation? Okay. Bird Aid says, I made a Tron inspired map, and also the game has the Tron skin, so I want players to be able to throw the disc, which is as a weapon, like the Chrono Ancient weapon, the boomerang. Yeah. Is it too high? I don't know. Is it too high? I don't see any interact text showing up when I jump. I don't think so. Can't mantle in here? What is going on? Yeah. It's not looking good. Like these ones can be turned on and off, right? Yeah. If I jump up and down, that interact shows up and blinks. I don't know if you guys can see that at 30 frames per second. This one doesn't show up at all. So you can't have an interactable component within a prefab. You've got to add it later. Is that right? Bird 8, I don't know what your question is, bro. It's not a question. You're just saying something. Okay, let's get out of here. Back to here. So that seems kind of lame. Let's select this guy again. I go to prefab. Oh, actually, question. So these guys, out of the way. Yeah, they have interactable component right here. That sort of goes against the idea. I think of scene graph. You didn't change the size, so it should show up. Oh. Okay, let's get rid of this one. Remove that. Lantern. Let's remove that. Sphere doesn't obviously have anything. The VFX is a VFX. We go to lantern interaction component. Let's remove that. Let's add interactable component. So we add it to the top, not the lantern. Try. Save. In game. So this push changes. It's the last try. And if this doesn't work, then I don't think you can put an interactable component within the prefab. You've got to place it on the prefab instance. Just so we're clear. Let's look through the docs a little bit more while we wait patiently. Changes made in the prefab editor will not propagate to placed instance of the prefab unless you save your changes. Oh, yeah, we know that. That's not a bug. That seems normal. Mesh sound and particle. You import a new mesh. Change parameters. If you move or name meshes, lose references. I said generate composers not generated into at least one buildable verse file in your project. Without redirectors, that's fine. We're not deleting. Hungry. Changing the default. It doesn't say anything about an interactable component not being able to be inside of a prefab. No. Okay. Let's see. Bird8 says I basically want to make my own custom weapon, which is a throwable disc that comes back to the player. Right. So, you're gonna have to make this. Yeah. You're not gonna be able to override another weapon like the kinetic boomerang. That's really cool. I like that idea. But essentially, what you're going to do, graph is weird. 100%. Okay, you guys can see this. All right. So what do we got? Have we got? Oh, look. Let's interact with it. Doesn't do anything. No, man. But it's also on the post, which is sort of good. Okay, so now we can't access the interactable component. Bird8. Let's see if we can answer your question while I sort of sort through this problem as well. So to do something like that, you're going to have to make your own object. So I'm not entirely sure how to steal the left mouse button, but if you could do that. I think I've seen people do it. I think it's because the simple movement component is not, like if we go to the prefab again, not this one, I guess they're all the same. I can't click prefab anymore. This will go into prefabs, cows, light post, prefab. So in here, this interactable component is not accessible to code. So remove it, it's useless. Pivot has the simple movement component on it. So can we add the component here? Wait, where is it looking for the component? Simple, the find descendant components. So we're looking at the descendants. So yeah, delete that. And go to the lantern. And then add it here. We're going to try this one more time. Like that. Save. Close. So it should be on this. And now it shows here. Okay, so we have the option to put it either inside of the prefab or outside of the prefab. That could be very confusing. Yeah. So yeah, Birdie, I don't know how you'd really make it. You would have, even if you could chuck it, you would have to use the forward, the way the player is facing, XY, and you'd have to consider the rotation up and down. And then you'd chuck it and you'd send it out a particular amount. And then you would just do a reverse animation. So you could do like a ping pong animation. And you could use like an ease in out modifier on that. But you probably want it to go like a boomerang. maybe, right? Like it would go around somewhere or something like that. In such a case, you'd have to do some math. And that's not something I'm really that good at. Um, yeah, you'd have to override like a key input. It'd be like a binding for your game, which people are using effectively. So yeah, I don't really know how to do it. And then you could also use control rig to give it a little more elasticy sort of feel to it. Kind of an advanced item. Okay, let's push changes. What are we doing? Let's push changes. So it's possible. I think it's possible to do something like that. And then when it comes back, you'd make it disappear. But like as you throw it, you would make it visible. It would be just a mesh, like a blueprint, because you could then control it. And you'd send it out. And when it came back and it hit the player location, it would just disappear. Like it would just be hidden, sort of thing. You'd hide it somewhere. So it seems like a lot of work. But if you could get it done, it'd be pretty cool. Tron, I mean, I like Tron. It's cool. Waiting for this to run. I do like the moths though. They've done. Oh, look at that. In edit mode, it shows. Oh, it's on the post. That's right. We are going to wait patiently. Like the array issue last video. Yeah. I don't really understand how. Let's wander back to UEFN for a second. Was it this one or in this one? Yeah, like find all these mesh components. You'd think you'd be able to grab, like this would be an array. We'd be able to get an index of 0 or something like that. I bet it's a map. I bet it's some kind of map, like associative array, and you need to know what the key is. And yo, Fridge, what's up, man? Doing scene graph today, buddy. I don't understand it yet. And no interaction available. Jumping up and down does nothing. Why? Also, the interaction radius on these things is really weird. Does work. So you have to, what? You know, the thing, oh, I'm not even showing my screen. It's not working, guys. It's not working. Like, there's no interact button. So. Okay, question then. So yeah, on the entity, we just have to find the descendant components that are of interactable component type. Yeah. So on the entity itself of whatever this is on. If we go into this, look at this details panel or this outliner all messed up. Let's open up the prefab again. If we select the lantern and we delete this component, save it, does it disappear off of these ones? No, right? See, look, it's down here on the bottom right. So I bet that the interactable component has to be put on outside of the prefab, which seems dumb. You know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Run this, push changes. Let's see if the interactable component does work on these guys, because these are all the same lamppost. There's only one prefab for the lamppost. And I removed the interactable component, but it still seems to be here in the instance of the prefab. What about this one? Can you see? Yeah, you guys can see the screen. And this one is gone because I took them off specifically. That one has one. Oh, because I'm there. Yeah, they're gone. That one. So then I guess the next question is, if you put one on here, but it's not on the inside, like the internal one have to be there. Are you going to upload new tutorials, maybe about scene graph? Yeah, I will. But I got to understand scene graph first, which is why I thought I'd just do a live series about it. We could just learn together a little bit, understand all these things, because all the stuff that I'm discovering now are they're important items to understand. Because not only do you have to be able to build the things that you're building, but you have to be able to debug them. And if somebody else made a thing with scene graph, then it's important you are able to understand how to debug what somebody else made. Because right now I can't figure out why the interactive device, or game starting, doesn't work. I also want to know how to increase the radius, because I actually find it really irritating. I gotta walk right up to the thing. Okay, so these guys, still work. But no longer does it turn on and off the lantern. So I destroyed the ability for it to turn on and off the lantern, because those guys were swaying. And this one doesn't have any interactivity. So another new problem. Like, think about it. If I, what has happened here? Why can't I turn the lights on and off anymore? I can't do anything. It won't do anything anymore. Full on broke. Well, that one starts up. This one's moving. Now we can stop it. It won't start back up again. One works. So, what? Okay. Okay. So we need to understand how that happened. Okay, last thing to test, and then we're done sorting this part out. So on this lantern, I'm going to add interactable component to both of them. And then I don't have to do anything in the game. And then these guys have something else set to them. How do they know to turn on and off? Where is... This one's a simple movement. We're not even getting into the cow ones yet. Where is, where did I... Let's just see. Lantern interaction component. Did I remove it? I must have removed it, right? Okay, so let's see. Am I putting it on the right thing? Let's check the code. Find descendants, components, light post. bet it's supposed to be up here. Man, I don't even know. Well, I stuck it on this here, but I bet this is the wrong place to put it. So let's change the one on the left. Somebody remember this. And we'll remove that there, and we'll go to the whole post itself and add it here. See which one that works with to see if we can turn the light on and off and make it sway. Do you think scene graph shouldn't be a beta? No, God, no. It should still. They should. I don't think that they should post it yet. But I mean, like I said, I think that because they are posting it, it sort of gives a little bit more credibility. But I do think that anybody who creates games with scene graph right now is just asking for trouble. They're asking for their game to bust. Because, as I said before, I don't think Epic even maintains their production level stuff. I mean, for whatever it's worth, I'm pretty sure that UEFN is still in beta mode, isn't it? Like when you open it, doesn't it say beta? This is a beta software. Come on. So I don't know. Yeah. I think, yeah, just make it go. We'll see what happens. Oh, waiting. That's what my game screen looks like. Just standing around waiting. Yeah, once we can understand this, we need to understand the type of components we can put on it and where we got to put them, how they affect the components underneath. Like if you want something to do two things, do you have to put it in one file? Can you put it in two different files? Can you add those components successively? Can you make them run in some kind of order? I don't know. Can you put other devices inside of a prefab, like teleporters or something like that? Curious about that as well. This takes forever. This is the one thing that I think, yeah, I really wish they would improve on. It's not a very difficult. I mean, I don't think it's a very difficult map to upload and test. Okay, so let's go to these guys first. This one, which one? The one on the left had it on the post, right? Look at that. The swaying thing is a weird thing. I don't know what happened to the swaying thing. What about this one? Oh. So it works both ways. So we can do two things at once. Why doesn't the swaying thing work? Why did that stop? In these guys, we added a component too. It starts them moving. This one see what I mean? Like it's so picky. Okay, let's pause this guy. That guy's still moving. That won't re-sway. I guess we got to fix that at some point. But the cool thing is then, now we know, we turn it on and off. It won't sway though. I broke the swaying code somewhere. That's cool. Okay, good. We know something. We know that I broke something. Let's head over to UEFN again. Nice job. Thanks. Yeah. So that worked. It's interesting. You can use devices on scene graph, but you got to include it. Yeah. Okay. All right, next thing to sort out. Why? Why doesn't it sway again? because it pauses, but it doesn't unpause. And it worked last night. It turns out you can't use pause again. You should be using play. Huh. Okay, so then we don't want to call pause. We want to call pause only when we're stopping it. Let's make, let's do this. Actually, we don't need to do that. Oops. Let's just do this first. And then here, if is swaying equals true, else do that. I wonder why it worked last night. Push that. Yeah, you can't use a pause. It worked last night though. You know, yeah, I was able to pause. No idea. Okay, so let's get this thing moving. Pause it and play it. Okay, so same for these guys. Turn the light off. It sways. Oh. Oh, this one's moving still too. What? Something is wrong with my logic. But it works now. But it's the opposite. Okay, either way, we can do more than one thing when a button is pressed. Or whatever this is, interactable device. Good. Good. Okay, let's understand the interactable component a little bit more. Enable, disable, is enabled, started, succeed, cancel it, start, and interact message. So we can't change the size of it. Convenient. Whatever. Yeah, just enable and disable here as well. So we can't change the size of that. Maybe it's the size of the lamp. I don't know. Okay, cool. So we discovered something new. And it works. But it does go to show that you can't put an interactable component within a prefab. You have to put it on the instance of the prefab. The bonus of this still, in the end, is that once I built that prefab here, I can just alt drag another one and it will have everything on it. There's our interactable component. So it copies everything over. So I guess that's a bonus, but I really wish you could put the interactable component inside of the prefab. Otherwise, what a pain. It seems like maybe there's a bug. Maybe there's a bug there. Know what I mean? All right. Okay, let's move on. We've got that sorted out. Spawning, essentially spawning props. What is this? We have a spawn prefab device. Look at that. Interesting that we are using a creative device here. Let's go back to here. This is just a volume. I don't know why they use the volume instead of a trigger. Oh well, back to verse. Okay, so let's understand how to just spawn an entity, which is essentially like spawning a prop. No idea why they didn't have a scene graph system in the start, because even Unity has a similar feature. Yeah, I mean, it's not an unusual feature to have. It's a good feature to have. Okay, so prefab to spawn, is entity, type entity lightpost.plightpost. Okay, so that lives here. P underscore lightpost. So we're spawning this prefab. Comes with everything except an interaction device. Right? Yeah. I feel like I want to make something from scratch. Well, let's go back to this. Transform it, put it left, up, and forward. How do you know where this is? Left, up, and forward? Yeah. Okay. Right, so we have to tolerate that. Okay, if... What is this? Get simulation entity. Returns the simulation that really experiences creative device. The simulation entity is the rootmost entity in an experience. Fails if this creative device is not operating in a context with valid simulation entity. So you essentially have to have scene graph enabled, and that will give you that. That's what I imagine. Back to verse. So let's close that and that. So trigger volume agent, blah, 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 add entities array. Prefab to spawn. Set global transform. Set global transform. And then remove from parent. It's funny how they locally set this. Like, could we do this? Oh, we can. So now we can always access this from a more global perspective. So then we know this is a light post. Let's go light post prefab. So then reality is we only have to do this. We do this here. Wait, can we do this here? And then comment that out. Will that work? Let's find out. Push changes. Oh, save selected. I don't have to push changes, do I? I only changed code, right? Yeah. Only changed code, everybody. Oh. We are learning. Today is a scene graph learning day. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this, even the tiniest amount. It seems like it would be good for tycoon style games, or I mean, lots stuff where you got to have stuff come in and out, and it changes based off of a thing. Man, hurry up! Well, my internet has not died, which tells me that Meld Studio is trash. So maybe I wasted money. Just looking at Discord for a second. I bet this crashes. Sucks. The one thing that it just says connecting ... So there's no progress bar or understanding of what it's doing. It's just full on stuck. UEFN is so boring in this regard. But we wait because we have to. Yep. Dead. So exit session. We'll launch session again. Now, if we're lucky, it'll take us in immediately. It seems like there's a trigger that the Fortnite client is waiting for, and it misses it. And then when you go back into it, it immediately pops you right in rather than having to go to the lobby. What feature does Unity have that's similar? I don't know, man. I don't use Unity. I've never used Unity. But I have heard that Unity has a thing that's like scene graph. Oh, stuck in the stupid no killing trees lobby. We can't get out. Want to escape. Lobby used to be bugged once in a while. You could just run out of it, fly around, nowhere. Components and parenting. Yeah, that's what they're called. Components. That's what everything calls it. Back in the long ago days, I used to work with Flash, and they were called components in there as well. UEFN is a lot like Flash. Like Flash was. Rogue Quant says, thanks so much. I learn a lot from here. You're welcome, man. Hopefully, pick up something. Just need this thing to load up. I don't know if it's going to work. It says edit mode up to date. The UEFN does say session loading, so we're just going to wait a minute. Can't even sprint in here. Oh, you can now. I used to practice this all the time. Jump up, turn around, slide. Let's give you like an aim practice area or something, you know? Somewhere where you can just do something useful. Waiting on UEFN. Still says session loading in UEFN, so be patient. You can fly if you double jump. Yeah. You can't escape. Like I was saying, like the lobby used to be able to sometimes get out because they would bug. And the walls would not have collision, or the roof. Maybe both. You would never fall through the floor. And then when you fly around, it's just ridiculously fast. It's best if you are working with a partner and then you both get in there and you both start flying around. And it's a little bit of joy. I don't know if this is going to run again. I think this might be bugged. Let's exit the session again and launch the session again. Man, this is the biggest waste of time. Push changes failed. Project upload is already running. Is it? Yeah, it says it's trying to load it up. You can go through the walls when it's loading. Sometimes. I can't. Stuck. No escape. I think that if I added up all the minutes that I had to, usually I'll do something else, study something. Yeah. Yeah, it says UEFN says it's loading. So I think just something's wrong. I'm gonna return to lobby. Maybe I'll restart UEFN. So yeah, so usually I'll just read something, just try to figure something out. Static allocate object. What is this? The problem with verse classes referencing prefab classes in their member variables. We'll get it. It'll start. All right. We're in. Let's try to launch the session again. Is it realistic to start working on a project using scene graph yet? I don't think so. I'm not. Whatever that's worth. I don't think it's wise. And the reason I think that is just due to the fact that they've got the longest list ever of everything that's wrong with it. You know, like how do you trust functionality of something when the list is this long of things that are not working? Like what? No, I don't think so. Okay, at least finally it says edit mode uploading. You can't even build in here. You know what I mean? Can't whack the trees, can't build, can't shoot. Play hopscotch. Although the material is kind of cool. I sure hope that they fix up scene graph really well. I hope they get it to where it's solid, works reliably, not buggy, you know, all that stuff. It would be really nice because it does seem like it's a really good bit of functionality. Although it seems really odd that you can't put the interactable component within the prefab. I feel like we should be making something from scratch though. At least it says preparing. Totally. Yeah. We're getting there. Microsoft Ad Revenue Program. Oh yeah, sure. I want it. We're in. Yay. What are we testing? Oh, this thing over here. Should probably move the spawner. Okay, so this doesn't work. Oh, wait. You have to restart. Because verse doesn't run first time around. What? There we go. For some reason. Okay, here we go. Oh. I broke it. Interesting. Head over to UEFN again. Okay, so the thing that we changed is to set up this here. So let's take this out. We will do that, set it there. So this might be the issue of that you can't do stuff. Yeah, let's try this. Try this. You're disappointed of what? Were we thinking of scene graph? We're thinking it's cool. Load and wait and it doesn't work. I know. R&D and studying is, it sucks. Okay, so that works. Yay. We can't walk up to it because moving out of here gets rid of it. Okay, so I want to test that. Let's not remove it. Why did they do it like this? It doesn't matter. Oh, we can't do both because it's a race. Let's do that. So we're not going to remove it. Build that, push that. Got to move the spawner over, man. Bring it in. See? No interactable component on this thing. Bro. That can't be. Let's, oh, you guys didn't see that. Sorry. I'll run it again. Go to bed. All right, have a good sleep. Yeah, see, so no interaction available. Where are the moths? Why is the light on? Go back into the prefab. Not that. This one. Again, wrong screen. So let's grab the lantern. Let's add the interactable component. simple movement component is on it. Let's put on the lantern. Let's grab the particle system component. And lantern interaction component. Okay, so save that and then push that. Let's see what happens. So we should be able to, if this works as expected, we should be able to put a prefab onto the stage, and we should be able to interact with it to be able to turn it on and off and make it sway. If this works as expected, that's pretty cool. But I don't think it will. Because where is this stuff on these? Not on there. Pivot has the movement, which is fine. And the lantern has the flies and the interaction component. And yeah, the lantern interaction component, making it turn on and off. The pivot has the movement thing, which allows us to turn off swaying. Okay, so that's just to summarize what exactly we're doing here. So if this works, I don't think it will, but if it does, we can encapsulate all of our code into a prefab and do two things. One, turn the light on and off, and two, cause it to sway on and off, and add in the moths. So we can add in a VFX. If that can all be done in a prefab, that'd be impressive. Okay, it started. Theoretically. We're in. And I didn't move the spawner yet. Okay, so let's... Oh, there's the moths. There's no way to... Oh! Man, it sure is picky for that interaction radius. Look, I can't even get it anymore. That must be a bug. Oh, there it went. How do I... Oh. It's so stupid. It's right there. Okay, ready? Why is it still swaying? I've done something wrong in the logic of swaying or not swaying, but either way. Come on, interaction. There we go. It works. That's incredible, but that still begs the question of, I think we just made another one. Why can't... I think that's still cool. Okay, well, we've done a lot today. Yeah. So, to summarize, which I think this is really good, we can spawn a prop with verse code on it that can do more than one thing. In this case, make it sway and turn it on and off. I think that's really cool, because we can't do that right now. We can't spawn a prop other than some kind of basic mesh And so this gives us a lot of opportunities to do a lot of stuff. And we're spawning it from a device, so that's kind of neat. I think I'm going to get some dinner pretty quick here. But in the next video, maybe tonight, we will take a look at how this works. And this. And this. Because I think these are really interesting. How come the UFO doesn't go? How come these aren't working anymore? This guy's stopped. Why did that happen? They're broken. Well, that's a problem for future me. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. We did it. We learned something. Yeah. So that's good. I think in the next, so the next one we'll go over the other ones. And then in the next video, I think we'll make something. Yeah, we'll definitely make something. Something real, something useful, something that makes any sense. Because I don't know if you're going to need to be able to turn lanterns on and off and make them sway and stuff like that. I think that would be a cool thing as a base to understand to do the next thing. So I think we've done that. Anyways. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining in on this one. Another just study session. We'll leave it at that, but I'll hopefully be back a little bit later. So thanks everybody for being here. Good questions. As few as they were, they're good. So I'll see you guys a little later.